Years and years, Starstruck here on BBC Radio Kent. 10:40 is the time, and it's Ladders here. Good morning to you. Nice to be back with you today, tomorrow, of course, and Saturday between 10 and 2. I'll tell you what we've got in store for you on Saturday's show in a wee while from now. Also today, we're going to be talking after 1 o'clock today about an organisation called Seniors Helping Seniors, okay? And a lot of what they do is simply retired people helping out other retired people and, you know, providing some friendship, companionship and things like that. And whenever I hear stuff about, the seniors helping seniors, it always reminds me of my dear old grandma. You know that I'm a fan of doing anything that involves sitting down. How about armchair yoga next? It's BBC Radio Kent. Now, sometimes, as we were saying, you can't wait for retirement. Sometimes you can't wait to get involved in something else. The amount of people that I speak to who've retired and they turn around and say, well, I don't know how I found the time to go to work, quite frankly. After 1 o'clock, we're going to be hearing about the work, as I say, of the organisation called Seniors Helping Seniors. And what they do is simply retired people calling other retired people and providing some sort of companionship, because it can be a lonely time, actually, retirement, because suddenly you lose a whole section of your life, a massive part of your life, and I've heard on this programme before of people who just retired and then kind of lost contact with their old work colleagues and things like that, because, you know, rightly or wrongly, sometimes life just moves on, doesn't it? So we're going to talk to them after 1 o'clock today. It's not all they do, though, Seniors Helping Seniors. Dr. Susan Jeffries, she's a part of this organisation, and she helps by getting some of their clients involved in something called chair-based yoga.
The idea really came together in the summer of 2017. I was teaching yoga at Canterbury Yoga Studio, and Sally Wilse also has yoga connections there. She attends a class. And we began to talk about how you could really bring people with dementia into yoga classes so that they would benefit. I was drawing on my own experience supporting my mother, who I started a chair-based yoga class in order to support her because I couldn't find one. I've done 10 years training with the British Wheel of Yoga, so I was drawing on that. But people with dementia get very distracted, and increasingly so as the dementia progresses. So having people with dementia in an ordinary class is not straightforward because they become distracted. So this is where the companion carer model that Seniors Helping Seniors use is really brilliant, because they come into the class with the companion carer and the client, and it's the companion carer who supports the client and also joins in the class. And so we just talked this through, really, drawing on our different experiences, realising that what we needed was a mixed ability class. So you've got inclusion, you've got social interaction, but everyone benefits because of that combination of companion carer, the clients with dementia, and also independent people living independently who also want to do some chair-based yoga.
Okay, and obviously the benefits must be incredible, particularly from a mental health kind of view, from mental coordination, and also the sociability of it. Absolutely.
I mean, it's the mind and the body benefit, and of course, yoga philosophy and modern science now say that mind and body are all connected. It's just one system. But the coordination, so it's physical activity coordinated with the breath. The mind has got to obviously be involved in that. And the breathing exercises that we do in yoga, so that helps to calm, that helps to help people coordinate, again, mind and body. And the environment is a very sort of friendly, hopeful environment because of the combination of people who are there. And everybody enjoys themselves. So it's a win-win, totally.
From someone who doesn't know a great deal about yoga, that would be me. So what would be a typical exercise for someone sitting down in the chair and having perhaps their first chair yoga session? Okay, so I'd usually start with getting people to just focus on their breathing and have both hands on the abdomen and try and, as you breathe in, expand the abdomen. As you breathe out, pull your tummy in. So just a simple breathing, focusing on that. And then other exercises would include
helping movement in the joints, in the hands and the feet. So there'd be movements of stretching fingers, stretching toes, pointing and flexing your feet and your wrists, and rotating wrists, rotating ankles. And then we go on to coordination activities, where you've got your right arm moving and your left leg, and then your left arm and your right leg. So you're doing. There's a whole series we do of coordinating activities, which end up looking like sitting down marching, and that's great fun. And they're all very simple exercises that people can do in class. But also, I give people practice sheets so that the companion carers are able to also do that with their clients at home. So they're very simple exercises. Obviously, you can build them up to be more complicated, but
But actually,
everyone can do them.
Moving your right leg with your left arm and vice versa, it does take a little bit of thought, a little bit of coordination, even for somebody who's not suffering from dementia. So
totally, and of course it's great fun. Everybody laughs because everybody loses it because they think, oh, I can do that, and then they can't.
It's kind of like the equivalent of patting your head while you're rubbing your tummy, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
And how important is that relationship between the person taking part in the class and the companion, the carer role as well?
It's really important. I think it's unique, and I think that's, again, what makes the kind of classes that we run really special, because the carer encourages the client and, will cheery them along, will encourage them, and obviously join in. So that sort of personal relationship that those carers have with their clients just makes it gives the class a more natural feel as well. So you've not got a carer sort of sitting back and waiting for the class to be over so they can take the person off somewhere. The carer's in the class, joining in and benefiting as well. So it's that mutual relationship. And, these relationships can go on for years and do go on for years. We have people in our class who've been coming since 2017. Some of the carers have been working with us since 2017, and some of the students have been with us since 2018 as well.
And obviously, I would assume that during lockdown the classes didn't take place, but are you back up and running now?
Yes, we are, yes. We started again on the 7th of June. So the class runs on a Monday, and it's an hour. So 7th of June, we've been back, yes.
And busy? Everyone flocking back to you?
It's been a mixture. I mean, the Seniors Helping Seniors carers and clients have been very keen to come back, because although actually some of them have joined on Zoom and they've worked at home, but what they miss is the social interaction and just the sheer enjoyment of, doing yoga in a mixed ability group. So Seniors Helping Seniors people have been keen to come back. Some of my independent students are still preferring to practice at home. Some of them have stayed on Zoom, and some of them have come back to the class. So, as we know, through the pandemic, it hits us all in our individual ways, and people have coped, in different ways.
That's Dr. Susan Jeffries, who was talking to me earlier this morning. And if you try the coordination, the mental coordination, left arm, left leg, right arm. No, I was trying it. I fell out the chair, for goodness sake. That's not a good start, is it, to the day? 10:52. More about Seniors Helping Seniors after 1 o'clock today. David Bowie and Rebel here at BBC Radio Kent. 30 minutes past 1 is the time. Now, earlier in the programme, we were talking to Dr. Susan Jeffries. She does sitting yoga classes for the group Seniors Helping Seniors, which is based in Canterbury. Now, that's a group where you can be paid to offer companionship to lonely older people. Let's find out a bit more, shall we? Let's put some meat on the bones. Christian Wise is the CEO. Christian, thanks for joining us. Afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Steve. Great show you're putting on today.
Well, bless you. Bless you for your kindness. First up, for those that don't know, and that includes me, fill us in on Seniors Helping Seniors. How long have you been around, and what is the work that you do?
Well, we've been around since 2013, so we're in our 8th year. We do what it says on the label. There is senior for us. The helping part is the experience. So you don't have to be over 60 to help people. There's about 51 of us helping, and the youngest is 35, and the oldest is 84. And we help them, the seniors who are senior by age. And they can be any age, really, but they are, as you said, they are lonely, or they need help from us because the family is busy and they live abroad. And it is to make sure that they are well, that they are well looked after, that we activate as much as possible when that is appropriate to do. We do activities of daily living, in other words, house chores and things like that. So families, when they visit, they have more of a quality time.
And where did the idea come from in the first place?
It actually comes from America. It's a lady called Kieran who used to work with Mother Teresa. She did that for 14 years and moved to America and realized what an appalling situation it was for the elderly people. And she came up with the idea to match with sort of in the same generation. So it's not too distant or too unfamiliar for the person who is visiting. So in all, it's been around for 23 years. Over there, they got 250 officers. We are more modest. We got 6 officers currently, but we are growing all the time. We cover the southeast and east. Predominantly, since we are in Kent, we have grown from the base we have here to make sure that we can help and look after the new managers in each office.
I think it's a great idea, and although you were saying, you've got people of all ages, helping out and what have you, but for those that are perhaps nearing retirement or have retired or in semi-retirement, if they've, they're not necessarily ready to just sit down and do nothing. They've got plenty to give, and the milk of human kindness is always there as well.
Absolutely. No, you're so right, Steve. It's a peer-to-peer support. So it's for self-funders who do this, and for those who work for us, they either do it because monetary-wise they want to have their car on the road, they want to give grandchildren presents and so on. But it is what motivates them most, and what we are always looking for is people who genuinely want to care and have an experience in care for one reason or another. If they have a care background by profession, or they've been caring for a family or a loved one, then they have an experience that is quite unique. We spoke to Dr. Susan Jeffries, yes, earlier, and she, does those the sitting yoga classes for the group. What other activities are there around? We have taken people swimming. We had a 94-year-old lady that we have maintained her exercise by going swimming because she loves that, which is great. Otherwise, it is walks by the sea or in parks. So we take people out for a cup of tea and a cake, or anything that motivates them to get out of their home, or it could be walking around in their garden if they have mobility issues. But, it's all about not sitting and being served all the time. It is, when appropriate, to do things, museums, swimming, walks, art classes. So we recommend, if we can't do it, then we take them to the organisations like Age UK, where they can mingle with other people.
And of course, one of the easiest things, one of the simplest things in life is just talking to somebody. So, you can just pick up the phone and talk to people as well, can't you?
Yes, and we do that too. During the lockdown, we had several clients that we did phone help, if I call it that. But yeah, it was to consult over the phone, help them with paperwork, when you do video calls and so on. So it's really no limit to it. And care is something that we all sort of associate with somebody who's in a bed who needs to be washed or administer medication. So we leave that to the care agencies that are professional on that, and we focus on everything around it, meal preparation, going shopping, and
Living a life. Yeah.
Living a life, absolutely. And it goes for both. Many of our carers are lonely, so they get something out of it as well. So, the bond that they create together is, the aim is to be like a lost family member or a friend. And that, since we have a fantastic track record of some of the clients we have now for 7 years, and the bond you have when it's the same person that visits every time is, it's absolutely unique.
Yeah, no, I'm absolutely sure. And I would imagine that, lifelong bonds are formed as a result of that.
Yes, absolutely. We've had people who've gone into a home and the family then say, we don't need your services anymore. But the carer then continue to visit as a private individual, which I find absolutely fantastic. That's and, lovely. Many, about 60% of the clients we have is memory-related, early onset of dementia and so on. So it's hard for families to see their loved ones when sometimes they don't even remember who the daughter is and so on, but they will remember the carer for some reason.
Yeah, and of course, that stability, that familiarity is so important with someone who's suffering from dementia.
Yes, absolutely. And it is the smile. It is to have colourful clothes, small things that matters. Luckily, we have a very colourful logo with 3 bright colours, and that is what I always point at to be remembered, and they do. And that is, so I am just so immensely proud of everyone, all the carers that works with us.
And obviously, and the great work that you've done has actually been, recognised as well, because you won an award, didn't you, Christian?
Yeah, absolutely. Last night we won. Thank you for bringing it up. It's an award from the Living Wage Foundation that's been championing that people should have a living wage, not the national minimum wage. And they've been doing that for 20 years, which they celebrate this year. And the award we got is called Against All Odds. And that sort of illustrates how hard it is to make money in this sector, because the care sector is really ready for a complete overhaul that should recognise everyone that helps, whatever they do. And to have a national award for a small company like ours is just fantastic. We have been championing the living wage since we started. We didn't know about the organisation, but we paid way above the living wage when we started it, and we continued. We're still slightly above what they recommend, and there's nothing, you can't value what people do in money, but you should do it to the utmost of what you can afford to do to make the wheel go around.
Yeah, no, a good expression, a good phrase there, Christian. Finally, then, we've already said, the kind of people that you're looking for, and age is no factor really. If people are interested and they want to get involved, how can they go about it?
They can send an email to contact me at seniorshelpingseniors.co.uk, or they can go to the website seniorshelpingseniors.co.uk and find phone numbers, but the number to call is 01227 454 900.
Brilliant.
And, and the families, if I may add, the families that works with us, they love to use companies that are doing the right thing. They know that where their money goes is not to a care company that is doing it for monetary reasons, but a company that does it for the right reason. And that, I guess, is also against all odds that we're doing that. So it is, again, on air, I'd really like to thank everyone that works with us in all offices and the business managers. They do a fantastic job because the award was national, so it goes to all the 6 offices. So thank you, all of you guys.
Yeah, good thanks. Yes, we're all sending virtual greetings to them all. Christian, thanks so much for your time. Thanks so much for your time this afternoon. Really good to talk to you and hear more about your organisation. Christian Wise, who is the CEO of Seniors Helping Seniors UK, based in Canterbury. We're going to talk to Eileen in about 10-15 minutes or so. She's been a companion stroke carer at Seniors Helping Seniors for 7 years, and we'll find out why she got involved and what it entails really as well. We'll chat to her, as I say, in about 10-15 minutes from now. It's BBC Radio Kent, 24 minutes past 1 right now. The Lars, of course, and there she goes here at BBC Radio Ken. 1:35 is the time. Now, we spoke earlier about the work of the Canterbury-based organisation Seniors Helping Seniors. Now, let's chat to Eileen. Eileen Connell is a companion and carer at Senior Helping Seniors and has been for the last 7 years. Eileen, thanks for joining us. How are you doing? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine, thanks. Yeah.
Good. What made you decide to work for them in the first place?
Well, two things really. One, I needed to work, although I'd retired. I needed to work to supplement the pension. And two, because the ethos of Seniors Helping Seniors fits with what I like. And I just felt that was somewhere where I could enjoy working and make a difference.
Mm. And what was it that attracted you to them?
Initially, it was the ethos. The fact that we're looking at holistic care. We're looking at the whole person that we're getting involved with, and there's continuity, and it just feels right. And the added advantage is that they're a Living Wage Foundation employer, so they pay a reasonable amount for doing it. So it sort of all came together as a really good option.
Absolutely,
and I never regretted it.
Well, that's good. And I suppose you do need to be of a certain temperament, maybe a certain kind of person to be able to do what you do.
I think you need to be a people person. You need to like being around people and with people. And with some of our clients, obviously, are living with dementia, so perhaps patience and sense of humour comes into it too.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. I can only imagine. I'm just going to read you an email, Eileen, that I've just had in from Leslie in Ramsgate. And she says, "Hi, Steve. Great to hear you talking to Christian from Senior Helping Seniors. They helped look after my mum in her final years, and the care mum got was outstanding. Eileen actually helped with my mum, Janet Lang, for a while. And she says, please give a mention to Sandy Milgate, who was mum's number one carer and helped our family and mum so much. Leslie says, would not hesitate to recommend Seniors Helping Seniors to everyone." And I thought that was just such a lovely email.
That's fantastic. I mean, I remember Janet. Yeah. It is what we do. We build a relationship, not just with the client. We build the relationship with the family, because essentially what we're doing is supporting them to support their loved one. And it builds that strength of communication and commitment between us, and it's great.
I was saying with Christian, and it's obvious that it's going to happen, but you're going to form a bond not only with the person, but as you've just said, with the family as well. And as time goes on, that person might not be around anymore, but the family, you're going to stick in the family's in memory as well, aren't you? Because you became almost part of the family. Yes,
I think that's true. I mean, I have a client, or had a client, that I lost 2 years ago now, but I am still in touch with her family from time to time. We keep in touch because as you say, I was looking after her for 4 years, and you do get that connection, and it's good. It's supportive all round. Really, it's a win-win, because I get a lot of job satisfaction out of it, and I get friends and social contact, really, as well as knowing that I'm giving something to the client. So that's special to seniors, I think, in that we have the time. We're not on a tight schedule, really, in that sense. We other organisations have much tighter schedules to meet, but the way we work is that we more or less choose our hours, and we can work as little or as much as we want. So it's much more in control. I feel I've got much more autonomy over what I do. Yeah, no, that I can understand that completely. I suppose things have been very different over the last 18 months, though. Yeah, we've had to adapt. We've had to adapt quite a bit. But, the important thing that I've tried to maintain for all of my clients is that we're still connected to the world, which means even if we can't go and have a cup of tea at our usual tea shop, we can still drive in the car, and we can see the countryside. And so keeping people in touch with the changing of the seasons You know, the different leaves on the trees, not on the trees, whatever, is so important. And I think that makes such a difference to people, that they still feel part of the world. They couldn't do that without someone like seniors being there to take them out, because not everybody has a family close by that they can sort of have as their bubble contact.
Yeah.
So we've been able to maintain that for them.
Yeah, it's that there is life outside the four walls, and you need to get out there, and you need to feel part of it, I suppose, don't you?
Absolutely, I think it's vital. You know, even for younger people, being isolated, being stuck indoors, has an impact, and not always a good one. You know, on mental health. And I think for older people who are already, you know, their world is quite small, sometimes limited by health or mobility issues. It's so important that we can make that difference and keep them going, really.
Eileen, final question to you. If there's somebody listening now and, you know, they've been interested hearing what Christian said and maybe what Susan was saying earlier in the programme about the yoga classes, or have been, their ears have pricked up listening to you, what advice would you give them as to getting involved?
I would say if they're thinking of, if they have a relative who needs support, by all means, you know, make the phone call. There's very little that we don't do in terms of companionship. You know, I take people out. I sit at home and do jigsaws. We do crosswords. We watch the TV. You know, we go out and have afternoon tea or lunch or whatever. So there's so many things we can do that we can adapt to whatever the individual client's needs are. And if it's somebody who's in the same position as me, you know, sort of got time on their hands, but not wanting to have a regular weekly hours commitment, and enjoys being with people, then, you know, get in touch, because we match, as far as possible, we match our clients to us, so that, you know, we've got that sort of connection. We enjoy the same things, or, you know, we've got similar interests. And it's fun. You know, without it, for me, over the last 18 months, with lockdown and everything else, it's been my lifesaver, never mind my clients, you know, because I've had a reason to go out, I've had a reason to do things, and I've had people to be in touch with. And as someone who's not far off the big 7-0 and living on my own, that's been important to me too. So, as I said earlier, it's a win-win thing, you know, and Christian is such a good employer. Seniors generally is fantastic to work for, because it's so flexible and it's so accommodating.
Eileen, brilliant. Lovely to talk to you. Thank you so much, and all the best to you and to your friends as well. That's Eileen Connell, a companion and carer at Seniors Helping Seniors, and she's been there for 7 years. It's BBC Radio Kent. It's 16 minutes to